Søren Torpegaard Lund.
That was good.
I'll take it.
Yes.
And I feel like the best place to start is the morning of DMGP.
Yeah.
I was sitting going to another national final, and a few people, including Simon actually, said, "You need to see this."
Okay.
And I thought, okay, what is this? And I went and I watched it. It was, of course, Før Vi Går Hjem, the staging performance of it. And I knew immediately, as soon as I saw it, you were going to win.
Okay.
I knew immediately because
Seriously?
it had something to it. So when you woke up that day,
Yes.
did you feel like the reaction was going to be that big
No.
at all?
No. I think I kind of just had focused so much on rehearsing the performance and perfecting what we had done. And I knew it was a challenge and it was a hard one to master because we really wanted to challenge ourselves. But I also knew that the lineup was strong.
It was incredibly
and
strong.
Incredible. And last year's winner, a lot of established artists. So I was not, I didn't wake up and think I got this in the bag at all. I definitely thought that I would bring something special, but you never know. You know what's gonna happen. So I was very, very surprised, but very happy with the reaction.
It must have been a whirlwind of a day, really, because the conversation of DMGP was, Sisal will be Erica Jane would be a big fan.
Yeah.
And then it was as if you came from and suddenly took it all. It must have been very overwhelming almost on the day.
It was so overwhelming, and I don't ever think I've been that much in actual shock. And I had a real out-of-body experience with when the jury points were given and the televote. I truly didn't know what was going on. First of all, because I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't see. And I was doing a lot of theater while doing Grand Prix, so I hadn't really been filled in on all the information because I couldn't be at some of the rehearsals. So I didn't know where to look for the points and everything. So I just focused so much on what was going on that stage, that one performance. So when I got into the finale and stuff, I was also like, okay, well, here we go. From there, it was just like, I had not planned at all in my head what was going to happen.
And then they do that ridiculously tense thing in Denmark with it loads from left to right like this.
Disgusting.
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, but then obviously that happens, you have the tension, and then it happens, and suddenly you're going to Eurovision, you're the Danish representative.
Yeah.
How quickly did that sink into your mind? Has it still?
Last week.
Only last week?
Yeah, I think last week was when I finally woke up and just... I kind of felt like I fell from that pink cloud I had been floating on, and I finally realized what is actually happening, what the opportunities are going to be, and that I'm also just very much still a person. And because I think I've been going on just the adrenaline from that night until last week. So I took some off nights and I was just on the couch and I was laying there and I was like, that, but also
Eurovision.
what the It's actually, for real, it's actually happening, and I'm the luckiest guy on earth. And also, I did that, I guess. What the hell?
Yeah, and we'll talk about how you did that in a second.
Yes.
But I want to rewind about 20 years first.
Yeah.
Because you have had such a long background of theatre, musical theatre performances, acting, becoming someone who has the ability to connect with people emotionally.
Yeah.
What's the best piece of advice you've kept since the beginning that you still have in your head?
I think the most important thing that I've been told, and what is like my main word and theme for everything I do, is authenticity. That whatever I have or bring or that I have rehearsed for a lot of years has been there from the get-go because of who I am. And I need to keep that. I need to nourish that 10-year-old little guy who started doing theater and who just loved being on stage and thought it was fun, because this is a wild ride
Oh
on
my
circus,
goodness,
and
yeah.
you can like get torn around in it. But just remembering the thing that makes me me, because all of a sudden people are looking at me in a different way than before, and I don't feel changed at all. But I'm starting to, I feel like I'm growing up a little bit during this as well.
Do you feel like you almost have to grow up a little bit?
Yeah, I talked with my therapist, and she was like, it's like your innocence is kind of gone, and that's good
That makes
and bad.
sense. Yeah.
Because I also need to really take care of myself in this, because I'm a person that is like, yes, let's do everything. So I need to also navigate how to do that, but by honing in on who I am all the time while my life is changing is the most important thing, and that is what is going to keep me being authentic, and also what's going to keep me connecting to people, because people can always see authenticity
Yes.
in
always.
in whichever form that looks
And they
like.
can't explain it, can
No.
they? But it's something you feel.
And that's what I see when I see someone who goes on stage, and I'm like, whoa, you're really doing yourself. So I will buy whatever you sell me. That is what I try to give, and it's hard, but it also feels the best. But it also takes some bravery, because people are going to tell you, if you just scoot over here a little bit, or over here a
There's
little bit.
always a word of advice that isn't quite advice.
Yeah, exactly. And I've taken that in, but then I've been like, oh, I think I'm just going to stay in here and try to do this, and to see how that kind of came into fruition this year proves that it is the right way to go. And with
Yes.
my little team of 2 people in my little itsy bitsy label and me, and for us that's the most, like, we're really friends, and we're part of each other's lives, and we have the best interest in each other.
Which
that
is the best thing
That
to
is
have.
important. So I really cherish that.
Yeah. Yes. And I think that's the thing that will stand you in the best stead through this process.
I definitely think so. Yeah.
So let's come back.
Yes.
Før Vi Går Hjem
Yeah.
is one of the most talked about songs of the year, one of the most talked about performances of the year. It is
Shut
my
the fuck
personal
up.
favourite of the whole year.
Stop.
How did that come together from start to finish?
I don't know. It kind of. I had taken a break from doing music for a year or so, because for me it is like, in our group chat, it is called the Love Project,
The Love Project.
because it is something I do on the side from my career in acting and theater. And I kind of had to take a break from it to like have time to do other stuff. Then I was invited by Tim, my manager, to go on the songwriting camp. And I wanted to write 3 different songs to just explore what is in the world
What
of
were the
me.
other 2?
We started with the big ballad, like the
Okay.
Celine Dion ballad. Day 2, I wanted to do like a more singer-songwriter folky kind of thing, which is more like aligned to what I've published before. And then I was like, and day 3, I want to try to be a pop banger diva, because I haven't tried. I listen to that music,
Yeah.
but I've never tried to do it myself, because it is kind of for me, as you know, talking about authenticity and being myself and wanting to convey something, going into that world can sometimes get blurred. And I really still wanted to keep that emotional core of the music while wrapping it in like glitz and
Yes.
popness and like Troye Sivan-ness
I get that.
stuff.
I do get the
You know,
Troye Sivan,
how can
yeah.
you marry those 2 worlds? And that's what we tried to do. And then when we wrote the song, we were just jumping for joy. There was just some synergy in that room, and we immediately knew that was the song we wanted to send. Then we got selected, and then I said, I really want to do a full-on stage show, because I do musical theater. We should use
Lean
every
into
like
that, yeah.
we should lead into what. And again, some people are like, yeah, but this is kind of more pop, so you shouldn't be too musical theater. And I'm like, I know, but I can use my skills to marry those worlds. I can sing and dance at the same time. I can convey a narrative. I really want to do that and see if I can live in that world.
And I feel the confidence in that. Like, there's
Yeah.
conviction when you say that.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, so I said we have to do we have to challenge ourselves and do the most with this, and
And
then we
you do the
started,
most.
and then I did the most, and this all came together. My team brought a lot of concept, and then DR brought a lot of their concepts, and actually kind of aligned from the get-go.
That's fantastic.
And then we built it all from the bottom up, and I was so scared that I was not going to be able to do it, but I rehearsed a lot in my little apartment.
Did you rehearse all the flipping in there?
I did. Like I was hanging from my dining table to try to do that and sing at the same
It's a
time.
high table.
It was a high table.
That's good.
It was a high table. Yeah, and then it was just hoping, praying to the Eurovision gods that everything went well, and
they delivered. They delivered. For
yeah,
you.
yeah.
What's
they
your
did.
favorite moment in that staging? Because there are so many moments of like narrative development. Is what I love
Yeah.
about it so much.
I think maybe the beginning actually.
Yeah.
Because the whole like setting of the universe and all the surprises that you don't know are gonna get there. It's also like a little nod to the staging of my entry 3 years ago, which also just started with a close up, a guy singing a song. But then I was like, but you don't know what's gonna happen. That's gonna happen a lot from here. But I just love the start of the fairy tale there.
And then it builds from there.
Yes.
I mean, you talk about world building.
Yeah.
And I really want to pick up on that quickly because I feel like one of the most important things in Eurovision now is not just having a great song or even having a great stage look. It's the world building. It's crafting a universe in which your song and your story can live.
Yeah.
How proud do you feel of crafting your universe with this?
I think that's what I'm the most proud of with the whole thing, is that the people around me understood what I wanted and understood who I am. Because as you say, as a pop artist, like for instance, Sara Larsson, she did that this year. She finally built her universe, and now it just makes sense because it's her, and it's so authentic, and everything supports that. And it's not for me also like having dancers. I didn't just, and I don't mean this in any like wrong way. I didn't just want background dancers. I wanted everything to be part of everything, and I wanted everything to come out of the song, and everything had to support the song. Also because people will not understand the lyrics, so you need to still understand the world. And I'm very proud that all of a sudden every layer just felt like they supported each other, kind of. But you never know if people are gonna read it. But I felt like I understood it. So I was like, we need to just go with this because we understand it, and now we have to just shoot it out there.
We have to sell it to the world.
Yeah.
And now you're close to Vienna. I suppose now it's just a process of refining everything down. It's not going to change too much.
No, we worked so hard for the concept, so we're not going to change that. Like, it's why fix it if it ain't broken? Also because we listen to all of you guys saying that the response
I'm
has
glad
been
it was listened.
Crazy. We're not changing the concept, but of course we're looking at every little detail to make it better and elevate whatever we can. So there's going to be some surprises in there.
Good.
Yeah.
And we can be excited for that.
Yes.
Now, it will be one more question.
Yes.
And that is, Eurovision is such a big world, and I think you're starting to recognize that being here in Amsterdam and seeing everything going on around you and the hundreds and thousands of opinions and speculation about who will do well and who won't. So I'll ask you this. How do you want to feel about doing this?
I want the same feeling that I had doing any performance that I do, which is about being in the moment, which is just sometimes a cliche and so hard to do, but it is very real. That it is a mental game that you have to play with. You have to talk a lot with yourself and say, these are my goals. I want to enjoy this. I know what I have to do. I know what the performance is going to be. Now you have to let it go. And you have to know and trust all your technical stuff is going to work. And I want to enjoy it. And I don't want to look at bookings or anything else.
Yeah.
I just want to enjoy it and see what happens.
Full focus from now until next.
Yes.
Søren Torpegaard Lund, thank you so much.
My pleasure.